In the early 1930s, during one of the darkest economic periods in American history, fear and desperation filled the streets. Banks were failing, jobs were disappearing, families struggled just to survive. But somewhere in the middle of that chaos, a young couple began a crime spree that would shock the entire country. They robbed banks, they robbed stores, they robbed gas stations, and somehow, they kept getting away. Their names would soon become legendary. But before the newspapers turned them into infamous outlaws, they were just two young people with troubled pasts. The story begins in Texas. A young man grew up in deep poverty, moving from place to place with his struggling family. Life was harsh, and trouble seemed to follow him wherever he went. By his teenage years, he had already started committing small crimes. Car theft, petty robberies, nothing huge yet, but it was only the beginning. Meanwhile, not far away, a young woman dreamed of a completely different life. She loved poetry. She enjoyed writing stories and imagined herself someday becoming famous. Friends described her as smart, charming, and full of life. No one imagined she would become one of the most wanted criminals in the country. Then one day, the two of them met, and everything changed. The moment they crossed paths, they were instantly drawn to each other. Their connection was intense, almost dangerous. But at the time, neither of them knew how far that connection would take them. Soon after meeting, the young man was arrested and sent to prison. But the young woman refused to forget him. In fact, she helped him escape. She secretly smuggled a gun into the prison. With that weapon, he broke free and disappeared into the night. Although he was later captured again, something inside him had changed. Prison hardened him. When he was finally released, he had one goal in mind: never go back. And this time, he wouldn't be alone. Together, the couple began traveling across the central United States. They robbed small banks and rural stores, often escaping just minutes before police arrived. The newspapers quickly picked up the story. People were fascinated. A young couple on the run, living outside the law, challenging authorities at every turn. Some even began to see them as rebellious heroes during a time when many Americans hated the banks. But the reality was far darker. As the crimes continued, violence followed. Shootouts with police became more common. Several law enforcement officers lost their lives while trying to stop them. The country was now terrified. Authorities across multiple states launched a massive manhunt. Police departments shared information. Roadblocks were set up. Investigators worked day and night. Still, the couple kept escaping. They moved constantly, never staying in one place for long. Sometimes they slept in stolen cars. Other times they hid in remote countryside houses belonging to friends or relatives. Photographs later discovered showed the two smiling, posing with stolen weapons and cars, almost as if they believed they were unstoppable. But their luck couldn't